when thinking about graphing this equation, I need to consider that I'm starting on the y-axis at 575, and then I have a positive slope, so I'm going upwards from there. So to fill the space, since my slope is positive, I want my y-intercept to be somewhere down here, so I'm filling a lot of my space that I have. So that being said, since I'm starting all the way up at 575, I'm going to put a break in my graph and just say that I start, around that value, so 575-ish. So the answer key, I said 570. Now, you could do 575. I just chose to use even intervals of 10 or multiples of 10. And I went up by 20 every space. So 570, and then 590, 610, etc., 630. And I did that because the slope is 20. So if I want to go up 20 over 1, all I have to do is go up 1 box worth. And since it is 20 over 1, I'm going to count by ones for my x-axis. So now to graph it, I need to start at 575. So that's somewhere between 570 and 590, a little bit closer to 570. And then I'm going up 20, which is 1 box worth, over 1. Up 20 over 1, up 20 over 1. So every time I'm just above that y value. Up 20 over 1, up 20 over 1, all the way up. And that fills a lot of the space. And in the labels, the x-axis would be years, number of years, and the y-axis is the value of that antique desk. Okay. So what does the y-intercept represent? That represents the desk's initial value. Oops, put that in the wrong place. Okay, and what does the slope represent? Again, I like to reiterate, slope is the change in y over change in x. So this represents $20 per year. The dollars are the y value, and the years are the x. So the slope represents a $20 per year increase in value. I'm running out of room here, so if you want to see it a little neater, you can look at the answer key online. 105, how much is it worth in 10 years? Okay, so I'm given the number of years. Number of years is the x, and I'm looking for the value. So to use the equation, I can say, so y, the number of years, equals 20 times the x plus 575. And when we do that calculation, we get that it's $775. And we could look at our graph to see if that seems reasonable. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 goes up here. And we could keep counting up here and see that 775 looks about right. And then 108, when will the desk be worth $2,000? So 2,000 is the worth, or the value, and that's the y. So we'd say the y equals 20x plus 575. And then we can solve this equation. We could subtract the 575 and then divide by the 20. And that's going to give us 71.25 years. So you could say about 71 years or about 71 and a quarter years. But again, the key is that you are given the y value, and then we'd have to solve for that x value. For 107, what does v of 15 equal 875 mean? So that means in 15 years, because again, that 15 is the x, so in 15 years, the value is $875. So a lot of this is just understanding that notation, that v of 15 means when the x is 15, the 875 is the output. So in years is 15,875 is the value. Okay, and this last problem here, 109. Would you rather have Francesca's desk or a bowl that is worth $1 but doubles in value every year? Explain why, show work. So to understand what's better, we need to see how this $1 changes over the years. So I'm just going to make a little table, you know, and say in 0 years, that bowl is worth $1. Okay, and then see how much that 1 increases and ask ourselves, you know, is this $1 going to increase quick enough to make it worth more than this well-priced desk? Because right now, you know, 10 years, the desk is worth 875. Okay, so we want to see, is this 1 ever going to catch up in a reasonable amount of time or no? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years. Let's see what happens. So 1 doubles to 2, 2 doubles to 4, 4 doubles to 8, doubles to 16, to 32, to 64, to 128, to 256, to 512, to 1024, to 2048, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. Now, if I keep doubling that, I'm going to 2,000 to 4,000, 4,000 to 8,000, 8,000 to 6,000. That money is way more than, first of all, anything on this graph. This is all way under 2,000. And maybe not way under 2,000, but 2,000 or less. And once we start doubling 2,000, we get really big. And then double 4,000, huge. So if you're going to hang on to both these things for a while, it would be a lot more valuable to have the bowl than the desk. Because the desk just goes up a set 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20. Whereas this bowl, over the years, since it's doubling, it's going to be increasing by a lot more every year. So if it were me, I would say the bowl, because although it starts increasing slowly, in the long run, it's going to, or over time, it's going to start increasing very, very quickly.